It appears to be a shocking display of excessive force by a Kelowna Mountie. A man being arrested at gunpoint, apparently doing what he's being told, getting down on the ground on his hands and knees when an RCMP officer steps forward and kicks him in the head. Moments later, the handcuffed man is led away, leaving a pool of blood on the pavement.
I talked to two witnesses here who saw what happened, and they are appalled at what the police officer did. They didn't want to appear on camera, but they say the kick to the head was completely unnecessary, that the suspect didn't appear to be threatening or armed, that he was obeying the police officer's demands to get down. Indeed, he was on his hands and knees when he was kicked in the face.
Constable Jeff Mantler delivered the blow.
They're all saying that you got a little heavy-handed with that guy.
Okay, well, we're still investigating. We're still seizing exhibits. We'll have to talk to you guys after about that kind of stuff, all right?
But it was the head of the Kelowna detachment doing the talking.
In my opinion, I feel there's sufficient evidence to order a full investigation.
I see a serious 9mm, I think it was a Glock, pointed at me, which I've never had a gun pointed at me. And I did exactly as I was told.
It's a day Buddy Tavares will never forget. Last Friday, the 51-year-old Kelowna man was arrested at gunpoint. Still sporting a black eye from the violent takedown, Tavares is speaking out, recalling that dreadful day.
It's beyond me. I started to keep both hands on top of the steering wheel. If you move your hands, I will shoot you. Okay. Then it was take one hand off the steering wheel, take your seatbelt off. Okay. And I asked him, I said, what did I do? So he never answered me. I asked him a couple times, what did I do? No answer. Get out of the truck, get on the ground.
Tavares was driving down KLO Road towards the lake at about 10 a.m. when he saw police cruisers. He had no idea it was him the police were after.
Then I get almost to Pandosy. Cops, then a cop behind me hits a siren. I see all these cops and I pulled over. I thought he wanted to pass.
Tavares was ordered to get out of his truck and on the ground. Demands Tavares appears to be following in this video. But as he's on his hands and knees, the arresting officer steps forward and kicks him in the face. You were complying with the police order.
Oh, you bet. Somebody's holding a gun like that and they have a look like him. Yeah, you do what you're told.
I want this crowd to make a noise that's heard all the way to Ottawa.
They made noise, carried signs, and expressed their anger over an RCMP officer's actions in Kelowna last week. And they protested without incident.
Good afternoon, buddy.
Good day, guys.
Buddy Tavares walked into the Kelowna Law Courts this afternoon facing a charge of careless use of a firearm. When he walked out, the charge had gone away.
Congratulations. How do you feel about that?
Glad it's over with.
It was the RCMP who decided to charge Buddy Tavares the day after he was arrested. But after government lawyers looked at all the evidence, they determined there wasn't sufficient evidence for a substantial likelihood of conviction, and so the charge was stayed.
This is where it all went down back in January.
They cleaned the road up good.
Buddy Tavares is referring to the pool of blood left on the road after he was kicked in the head by a police officer. The 52-year-old admits, even now, months after the incident, he avoids this stretch of KLO Road near Pandosy as much as possible. Is it just too emotional driving this way?
Yeah, I get quite upset.
But Tavares is now upset over the latest development. Constable Jeff Mantler has pleaded not guilty to the charge of assault causing bodily harm.
I thought he'd just want to get this over and done with, make a deal, and move on with life.
Tavares says he's surprised the officer pleaded not guilty, especially given the fact the entire incident was captured on video.
A picture's worth 1,000 words. What's a video worth?
The not guilty plea came on Tuesday. Mantler didn't appear in court, choosing instead to enter the plea through his lawyer, Neville McDougall. Outside the courthouse, McDougall told reporters the reason behind the not guilty plea is that there's a lot more to this story than just a 30-second video clip.
Are you suggesting that his behavior is acceptable?
I'm saying that Constable Mantler was faced with a situation and he conducted himself in what he thought was appropriate, and whether or not it's found to be mistaken, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's criminal.
You obviously see it as a criminal thing.
You bet. If I were to kick a dog in the head, I would go to jail. It's that simple.